Hello, God bless race fans. It's me, Dick Jr. I'm coming to you today to play around with my cars again. So I just bought these yesterday, and I have been playing with this one particularly. This one here I haven't really run too much. I did switch out the armature between the two chassis, but I lost the brush or the commutator from this one. I was assembling it and it popped out. It shot off my desk, behind the desk, between the wall. We took everything apart and looked, but did not find it. So I'm going to order some more brushes, commutators, whatever you want to call them. They've got a dozen pack of these, but that way I've got them if I ever need them again. I'm going to go ahead and set this black one aside. Okay. We're going to take this one apart. I've been running it on the track at least an hour. It's been going, maybe two, but it's starting to slow down a little bit. I suspect that I probably over oiled the armature inside the chassis, and there's probably some kind of buildup in here. So we're going to disassemble this partially and check it out. So what I'm going to do, get these apart, if you get it by the wheels and then kind of pull back on the body until it pops out, that's the quickest way to get that out of there. We'll go ahead and set this aside. Looks like it could use a little cleaning. So this is the chassis. So the first thing we have to do is we have to take off this retaining clip. Okay. What I usually do is I take this or this, but I get a small pry. Oh, I remember how I did it yesterday, though. This was way easier. I took the tip of this sharp tip. It just caught that retaining clip in the pocket that it goes into. So we'll set that aside. Okay. Now the next thing is to pop this out. I'm going to try to... Oh yeah, there's way too much oil, but you see, you can't even see, but there's two. There's one. There's two. Those are the brushes of the commutators. And this is the inside of the armature. That's the gear on the top of this. But I'm going to get this goo. And there's a hair. We're just going to clean this up a little bit. Get some of this goo out of here. I'm going to get some proper tools here over time for doing stuff like this, but for now, this is what I'm going to work with, whatever I've got. Just cleaning it with a paper towel, trying to get the carbon deposits off of it. Definitely get the gooey part. That's what I already did. I'm going to sop up some of this other oil in here. Okay, so that's this. Okay, put that back on there for now. All right, let me get a toothpick. It's my favorite thing for the springs. They go underneath these armatures or whatever, but there's one of the springs. And then here's the other spring for the other brush. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of try to get some of that goo out of here when I over-oiled it, which, you know, that's my fault. The reason I took those out is because you can lose those springs and these brushes fairly quickly. Like I said, I lost one yesterday assembling. So See, there's some hairs. I've got dogs, so chances of getting hairs and everything are 100%. And my wife, my lovely wife, has lovely red hair. I find those in things too. All right, I got you. All right, so I think I should be able to reassemble this. Now I'm gonna roll. Hopefully I can get these springs separated without too much trouble. There it is. Okay. These are my commutators. Keep those aside. Okay. Don't want to get them springs wound together because boy, getting them apart. But I was just gonna kind of roll them around on the paper towel a little bit, and there we go. Clean them off a little. Okay, this is, let me clean this off. I want to get that goo on here. So after I clean this off, what I do is I take this and then I put the tip of it right down in the hole I want that to go to. And then I tip it up and it falls right in there. This is the easy way for me to put these springs in here. Okay. So both of those springs are in here. Now the other thing I want to do is clean these brushes, and paper is what I have seen these guys online doing, and so far I have not found a better way to clean those. Set that aside with the springs in it. So if you watch what I'm doing here, see all that? That is oil and carbon. Oh, come on. Just trying to get it to clean off, but you just roll it around on the paper basically until it stops bleeding off that black stuff. Set that one aside and we'll do this other one. But this is all oil, grease, and carbon mixed together. And just try to get as much of that off there as you can. That way you make better contact, but that's how I've been cleaning those, because that's what everybody recommends, and it seems to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. So there's that. Okay, keep that because we may need that. That's a very important tool. So these things have like a little nipple. Everybody else called it a slot. It must have been a redesign, but these are nipple. There's a nipple on the bottom of it that goes into the spring, and then there's a flat side. The flat side goes up towards this armature. So you gotta pick this up, and as you go in here, the magnet's gonna want to catch you because I'm using steel. But if you grab a hold of your chassis as you're taking it in there and support your hand that's got the tweezer against the magnet, because it's gonna grab you, and then you can set those little brushes right in there. And what I usually do is I take this toothpick and push them down in there, make sure they're seated on that spring. Okay, so now I know they're both seated in the holes properly. Okay, and these extraction, see, I've cleaned that off. Get some of this other. Oh, I almost lost my gear. See how that works? I've been on a search. Sorry, there was a lot more oil there than I thought. So this goes on here. You put, there's slots in the front where this top goes into on this chassis, and then you just basically push it down till it pops. Doesn't feel right, so I'm going to go ahead and pop it back out there. Yep, see? One of my brushes popped out. So we're just going to pick this back up. Spring don't look right. Okay. Back in there it goes. Push this back down in here and make sure it's seated properly on the spring. All right. Grab it by the front. That's what I usually do. Flip this over. And slip it in here. Just don't feel right again. I don't think it stayed. I'm gonna pop this open again. Yep. See, it popped right back out. So we'll just do it again. As you put it together, once you get that thing in there and it's seated properly, that top will pretty much just pop right shut, no problems. But for some reason, this thing is not playing very nice. So, give it a good push. That time, right in there. So now, find the right side, the correct side. So on that, I put this in this way. Okay, so it turns easily without grinding or whatever. You want to make sure that that spins once you get that armature back down in there. You want to make sure that it spins freely. And you pop on your retainer clip that holds this gear, and it also holds that whole top where your armature is. And just make sure that there's no binding or anything in it. So it's spinning. I've got a piece of track here that I use. This is set up for whatever reason it's not working. So we're going to go back through it again. We'll just keep going through it until we get it right, I guess. But, I know the car worked when I took it apart a minute ago, so it's going to work again when I put it back together. So this, it's not enough. Need this. Oh yeah, I remember now. This, just like that. Works best. Let me take this little sharp tip, put it up in there, and now it's not working. Let's do this. Try it again. Now let's see. I just want to see. This is a 1/32 car that I have because I'm working on a Strombecker 1/32 track, but it will power up. So I know I got power to that track. That's all I was checking to make sure that this piece of track wasn't not getting power for whatever reason. But the Strawbreaker runs, so this better run too at some point. Here's my gear. Huh. Yeah, that was odd. But we'll just put her back together. Try again. Set these brushes in here. Clip this clip on here. Well, it spins freely for whatever reason. I wasn't getting power before. There it goes. All my fault. Hear it raise up. Alright. I think that'll probably take care of it. I'm going to put a little, a friend of mine told me how to do this and it works great. I'm going to put another little dab of Vaseline back here on these rear gears. You can see them through here too, right there in that area. But I'm going to put a little Vaseline on here, just a dab, and put a little oil in the motor again, which sounds crazy, but it'll help it spin like crazy. But then it'll gum it up, and I'll have to take it apart again in a couple hours. So it's kind of what you got to go through with slot cars, and that's basically what's inside of them. I'll do more videos, but yeah, you run them an hour or two, and you got to clean them. I mean, they say that you can go 4 to 6 hours, but I don't think it's going to go that long. I think a couple hours is probably plenty of time. So anyway, that's how I clean my armatures and what I use. I use a toothpick and a pair of tweezers, just regular standard tweezers, to do this job. And it works real well for me. I don't need anything else. Thanks for watching, and God bless, and I'll be back again with more videos.